This is Rook with Mostly Harmless, and we're just taking a very quick look the night before launch at the upcoming changes. This is to do with armor. It's quick because there aren't quite as many changes to the armor, but there are some significant ones. Let's just look. I mean, this is just look at the world here. Look at the what do they call them? Swamp spirits that you can get stuff from. There's these toads here and stuff. Look at the night reflection in the water here. Um, I got to show off the landscape like these. There's buildings here like this out in the wild and stuff that just give the whole place a real feel. Look at that, how you can see through the objects now. The game is really coming along nicely. So, and look at that badass armor there. So that is in particular the graveyard armor, which has got this soul chain that is like that gripping ability that other people use, or that the creatures in some of the necro dungeons where they pull people towards them. It's sort of like that, except you've got to get really close to creatures before you can do it. So it's close, but then as you get further away, as it says, you can pull them towards you. Very cool. It's got nice potential with some blink boots or whatever else. Going to certainly change the way we play, and wanted to show it off. But it is a relic item, and with all the relic items, you need some additional resources. These are the ancient chain rings that you'll have to collect, or the smaller parts, which you can then put together into that to make that. So that's the basics of that. Let's get right into the Destiny board. Just to talk very quickly about this, again, we already did the weapons video. This is the armor. As you know, probably the difference between the helmets and the boots, that the helmets provide a lot more, or a bit more of the energy regen, less of the CC resist, whereas the boots provide more of that. If you look between the different types of armor, so if I'm scrolling down to look at the soldier helmet here, and you can see that the numbers are basically the same, that there's no difference between plate, cloth, or the leather, the medium armor, in terms of what they provide. The helmet, the boots, even the chest provide the same numbers, except for the chest pieces provide different resists. Wait, I feel like I'm a little wrong here. Is energy regen 0.77? Let's just double check up here. I felt like there was more energy regen on. No, maybe it was just the fact that you could get it. So correct me if I'm wrong there. Item power is displayed for all these items as to what they are. That includes a bit of your own abilities. So each of these have the same spells, that there are some spells that are common. So whether force field and energy regain is actually on all the helmets now, no matter what line. And then this has got the disruption immunity. I believe that was the same as before. Passives are the same, but if you go up to higher levels, let's look up here. The abilities are the same on these, and actually, yeah, unlike the weapons, there aren't more things unlocked. So good to know that way. It's just a change in hit points. Ice block is what you get on the cleric cowl, so that's different. That's where that's located. Again, you're seeing the same things, energy regain and force field, and then it's the poison that you'll find on the mage cowl. Let's just check here on the boots as well. They're pretty simple, that basically they're gonna have the same spells. So run. Okay, I thought they had moved that. I guess not. The flee is there. That's gonna be the same on all of them. And then the energetic sprint is on this one. Passives are going to be the same. You get the aggression potentially to add on the cloth, potentially to add healing, and potentially to add cast speed. Let's look at these. So these are the ones, the cleric ones have the blink. They also have the energetic sprint. That's what's common for each of them. Gets you energy. Notice how all of these are 0 cost, all the boot skills. And energetic sprint, and of course the run. Sorry, I think we already did that one. Delayed teleport, that's what I was looking for. Was the other different one. So that's the one with a bigger range than teleport, but you have to, of course, use it at just the right time, or you'll be dead already. Let me just check here on the helm again, because I think all of these, energy cost 0, energy cost free, energy cost 0. So just a reminder again that those ones are free, whereas here on the robes you're going to find, and this is where you get most of your this is where your resistances are determined. You're gonna find that while the heal is free, that newbie spell that you can use if you don't have a group or anything like that. There is an energy cost for Frost Shield. You'll remember that that has been reduced from the Uber, like it was just OP before, so it's been reduced to a nice amount. It doesn't give that huge movement speed increase. Speedcaster is the ability here on the Scholar robes. And if you didn't see the armor video, you just want to remind you, you can use any of these light armors if you've opened it up. So Everlasting Spirit, it's an interesting one. It's that one where you get if you get damaged in the next 5 seconds and your hit points fall below 30%, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds, and your damage is actually increased. So it's kind of this neat berserker mode, but it would have to be used, of course, very carefully. And the mage robe here has the actual berserker. So again, light is about damage or about heals. The less health you have upon activation, the larger the damage increase. So again, nice pairing, nicely paired with a arcane, nice big shield. I was going to say invulnerability, but it's no longer invulnerable. Let's look at the leather. So the relic item on here is the Stalker's Hood, and it's got that old Retaliate, that awesome ability that could be just a lot of fun to use, but you're going to need relic resources to do it. The Howl is interesting. That not only does it slow people down, it slows their attack speed as well, and does some damage in a nice little range in front. Energy cost 0 again. Energy cost 0. Energy cost 0. Mercenary Hood. So Howl, energy regain, and then cleanse is the one on the mercenary. It also affects allies in close proximity, so it's got some usefulness for sure. Hunter, here's your for your tackle possibly. If you don't need some defensive stuff like the cleanse or meditation for utility either way, then the first enemy that walks over the trap is slowed for 91%. Again, it's like the old crossbow one, you do have to do it in just the right spot. Passives are what you'd expect: the move speed, the tenacity, which increases CC resist, and then of course authority. And lastly, the Assassin's Hood. This is where you got your meditation. Again, same 2 skills here and same there. So that's those. And the last bits of armor, very easy. Let's look at the soldier's helmet here. So this is the one with the energy shield, which increases your resistance by 40 for 8 seconds. And while the shield is up, you restore energy each time you take damage. So while these ones, energy regain and emergency heal, are going to be on all of the helms, this is the one that's unique to the soldier helm. It's a neat way of keeping your mana pool up, especially as someone who's got less mana coming in. And then the passives are the same: toughness, reflection, and constitution. So those really haven't changed. Again, a tanky person doesn't necessarily have more health. They might because of their weapon choice, but that's because of their weapon, not because of their armor. They just have more resist as well. Spells here, again, the common ones: energy regain, emergency heal for people around you as well. And then the block increases movement speed by 30%, and you've got that 2 seconds on the block damage. So not a long movement speed increase, but it's kind of a neat ability. I like the look of it. The Guardian Helmet, also really popular with a lot of classes. Stone Skin, you can't beat increasing your armor and magic resist by 342 at the expense of reducing your damage by 50% for 10 seconds. So really commonly used by healers, right? It's your oh crap, and then you push that button and now you're better than a tank. So very good that way, and the passives, of course, are the same. Oh, gotta look at the Graveyard Helmet. This has got the Sacrifice, restores 20% of health of an ally, and reduces your own health by 15% of total health. Can also be cast on yourself. So basically a low health person might be using this on somebody that's running back to them, or a tank actually might even use it on somebody that they're charging back to, like a healer that they're trying to peel for and stuff. It just depends on the situation, but better if it's somebody that's in the back, probably, that's got low health anyways and is a healer but can easily run back and heal themselves because they've got another ability on their feet to get away right after they do that emergency heal. I'm not really keen on the whole 20% heal, but at those higher levels, that's going to be that could be certainly a factor in the games. Let's look at the soldier's armor here. This is one of the ones with the bloodlust, so every time you damage, you heal yourself for 34. This is that, oh, I forget his name, someone else can remind me here in the channel maybe, but the gentleman that made the, I don't know if he called it a warlock build or what it was, but basically it was the infernal staff combined with the bloodlust. There's lots of things that work with this, but it was a neat kind of combination that seemed to work quite well and did the healing very quickly. So I'm glad that's still in the game. It's really neat to see that variety where people are using fire or other staves and stuff with this kind of thing. So so that's all the same. Increases healing, reflects damage, and reduce income damage. That was the soldier, the knight here. Wind wall. It's got potential. There's a lot of choke points in this game, so it's really good. And Guardian, no surprise, still got the Enfeeble. It's a nice big range, and it also slows them, in addition to the damage reduction that it does for 5 seconds. So it's a decent skill. Those are going to be the same, and then we're showing you the graveyard armor. Not really showing you, well, maybe I'll show you the effect at the very end here, but in the right situation, this could be neat. There could be some builds and wombo combos built around that. So, and lastly, the boots here. So no surprise, there's a couple skills that are going to be the same on all of them, Flee and the Rejuvenating Sprint, and then this Sprint Shield is the one that can absorb damage and last for 10 seconds, and while the shield's up, your movement speed is increased by 50%, so it could be a good shield or a good speed boost for a long time if it stays up, which is I hadn't looked at that as much before. I think that's changed enough now that I might look at that. I was always looking at the shield charge because it used to apply to a whole bunch of allies around you. It doesn't anymore, and it's a 30-second cooldown, so I'm not quite as interested in that anymore. Maybe if it was 25 seconds, I'd look at it again, but I'm looking more at those 20-second cooldown ones again. So those would be the same. These are all what you'd expect. And Guardian Boots, I don't think there's much to show you there except the giant. There's no giant skill on the giant hammer anymore. It's just on these boots. Grow to a giant for 8 seconds during the time your max and current hit points are temporarily doubled, and your move speed is increased by 25%. I have not looked at that skill in a while. Holy smokes, that sounds interesting. Basically, wading into battle and you're tanky, and wow, that could be neat with the right combination of stuff. That's a lot of hit points. Yeah, especially right off the bat. Okay, that's some stuff I'm going to have to look to again after this. So those are the main armors. Again, beautiful world here. We're excited. This is tomorrow this happens. This is so cool. And we've got 30 of us that are going to be there. There's 30 people in the guild, and I think 28 of us are there for not hour one. 28 of us are there for day one. I think 24 for hour one. We're that pumped. We're that excited. We've got the day off, and we're going to be there. And I love the new emblem that Grim and Embo put together. That it symbolizes mostly harmless. That we're shoulder to shoulder, a few people against the world, and having a good time with it. So we're going to have to obviously close recruiting for the next few days and stuff. Look forward to meeting people again at the end of the week. You're still welcome to put up a post if you're interested, or check out the Alliance for sure. That a lot of good guilds in it, from UDL to Lords of the Dead, to Ominous, to Nox Noctis, French Canadian guild, and there's such good guilds in the game. Like there's our enemies. I'm happy to be able to fight against like KDS and Aegis and stuff. There's some good groups out there that are going to be a lot of fun to fight against. Vendetta, we're going to have fun fighting against some other groups too, and then there's good groups like the Academy that Stormlord's running, that Burslack really promotes, that are helping new people get into the game. That's the kind of experience you want at the beginning. That's where we recommend to anybody who applies to us that hasn't played the game and knows for sure that what the grind is like and whether that's their kind of thing. That's where we certainly are sending them. So good luck to you guys. I don't know who else to give shout outs to. There's certainly, I'm sure, lots of you out there that we'd love to say hi to. There's lots of great groups, and it's going to make the game a lot of fun. Let's drag that guy around. See, he's leashed. This is Rook with Mostly Harmless, and we'll see you out on the battlefield.